What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to film kind of like a makeup video. My last video was a haul, and I originally started this channel so I can do makeup videos, but I've yet to do I did one makeup video on my channel, and I liked it, and that was like over 2 years ago, I think. But I just want to thank you to all my subscribers, the ones that's been rocking with me. Even though I don't put out a lot of content that much, I'm gonna start to, because I have all the equipment to do so I'm definitely gonna start putting out more content for sure. But right now we gonna film a makeup video. I had went to Sephora and I grabbed a couple products. Actually, I grabbed a lot of products, and I've been using them, you know, pretty much every time I do my makeup. And I'm gonna tell you which ones I don't like, and I'm gonna tell y'all which ones I do like. So we're gonna get started with the makeup look. I normally do like a natural beat, but I haven't did like eye makeup. I bought a bunch of palettes from Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian Royale. Oh my god, those are the mini palettes. I grabbed some big palettes, and they gorgeous, baby. Juvia's Place be snapping. These palettes are gorgeous. Okay, y'all, so I actually balled out on Juvia's Place. I didn't even realize I got this many, but I think they was having a sale or something. I haven't really decided on what look I'm gonna do, but I knew I wanted to do an eyeshadow look. But these pinks are so pretty. Let's get into it. We gonna start with the brows. Now, I'm not a beat my face first, then do my brows. I don't know where I got this from. I do my brows, I do my eyeshadow, then I do my face. Now, if y'all see me look over here like that, I'm looking at my mirror. So, here we go. Now, I'm starting with the brows. I'm using a e.l.f. spoolie to basically smooth out the brows. Then I'm taking my pencil sharpener and sharpening my eyebrow pencil. And now I'm going in with the eyebrow pencil, lining the top of my brows. I always line the top of my brows, and then I go in and line the bottom and fill it in. That's basically how I do my brows. I make sure that everything is even as possible, and I take it from there. So now I'm going in with the other side, making sure everything is nice and even, lining the top, and then I go in and line the bottom. And it's very important that you use a brown eyebrow pencil, because this is a dark brown eyebrow pencil, and it's showing up pretty good on my skin. Now I'm just checking here to make sure everything is even. Now I'm going in with light brush strokes to fill it in. You don't want to go in with harsh lines to fill it in. Just really light brush strokes, filling it in, making sure it's even, making sure that wing is nice and pointy. Honestly, y'all, I'm not even trying to tell y'all how to do makeup. Makeup to me is very expressive, as to who you are as an individual. I can't tell nobody how to do their makeup. I can film it. I'm gonna film how I do my makeup. If you're my complexion, or if you like the way I do my makeup, then you can pick up some of my tips and tricks and pointers. But I don't want this to be like a tutorial feel, like this is what you do for this. This is how you do the brows. This is what you do. I really don't want it to be like that. You can do what you want to do when you do your makeup. Like I said, it's all very, very subjective. Okay, so here I'm just going in with my spoolie, just fading everything out, getting rid of all of those harsh lines. Now, in the beginning, I try to make it like an ombre effect, and then the rest of the brow, I try to get rid of those harsh lines with one smooth motion. I really should get a new concealer, because I've been using this same concealer, rebuying the same concealer over and over again for years. And I said I'm going to try a new concealer. I think I'm going to try the Juvia's Place concealer, because everyone says that's really good. I know I love the Born This Way foundation. I might try the concealer that matches that foundation, because that foundation is everything. But for right now, we're going to stick to the LA Girl Pro. And I'm looking for my concealer. Like, where is it at? So we have our LA Pro Girl concealer in the color Chestnut. I'm putting a little bit on the back of my hand. Taking an angled brush, and this is the brush I'm going to use to carve out my eyebrows at the top and at the bottom. So we go in at the bottom and we're carving it out, making sure everything is clean, everything is nice and neat. So we're going to carve it out all the way from the beginning to the tip. And I always like to make sure that the concealer that I'm using for the bottom of my eyebrows is probably a shade lighter than my complexion. But for the top of my eyebrows, I use either a foundation or a concealer that is my exact skin tone. So you're going to see that in a second. Now, y'all got to remember, your eyebrows are sisters and not twins. If your eyebrows aren't coming out perfect and symmetrical, then don't stress yourself about it, because as long as both of them are clean and even-ish, they're going to look nice. Now I'm going to go in with the concealer. And even though it looks like I have a unibrow, don't worry about it. We're going to get the unibrow together once we finish the eyebrows. I just connect my eyebrows. I don't know where I got this from. That is so hilarious. I just connect my eyebrows when I'm carving them out, and then later I go in and disconnect them, if you will. So here, the eyebrows, I'm disconnecting the unibrow, and I already blended out the top and the bottom, and I'm just going at the beginning of the brow and making sure that ombre effect is still there and making sure everything is nice and blended out. And now we're going to move on to the eyeshadow. I don't use concealer for my eyeshadow base. I actually have an eyeshadow base specifically made for eyeshadow, and I've been using it for years. I don't know where I got it. Makeup expires, y'all, and I'm pretty sure this is L'Oreal Magic Light Infusing Primer. Enlighten your complexion with a light infusing primer. I never knew that it said that. I'm pretty sure it's outdated, because I've been had this for over 4 years. So yeah, back of the hand again. So I'm just putting a little bit of this illuminating primer on the back of my hand using a fluffy, pretty dense brush. I'm going to put it all over my lid. Make sure it is covering your entire lid. And if it mixes with your concealer that you use to shape out your eyebrow a little bit, that's totally fine. You actually want to get rid of the harsh lines, and you want it to mix very well. So make sure all of those harsh lines are gone. I'm going to take the brush that I used to blend out my eyebrows, and I'm going to blend out the illuminating concealer, and then I let it dry a little bit. Now I'm going in with Juvia's Place, the pink palette. I'm taking that dark pink color and I'm going to put it on the middle portion of my eyelid. And I'm going to pack those colors on. Now, Juvia's Place was actually kind of surprising me because the colors, the matte colors, wasn't really acting too well. I went back into the Berries palette and I grabbed the second to darkest Berries look, and I put it on the outside corners of my eye, just to make sure that has a nice ombre effect. And as you can tell, these matte colors are not going well on top of each other. I don't know what that is. I was so surprised by Juvia's Place, but the matte colors was not blending together well, and I did not understand why that was. I worked with it as best as I could, but it really wasn't. I mean, it came out cool. So now this is the Voila Palette, and I'm taking that light bubblegum pink color and I'm putting it on the inner corners of my eyelid, so it can be like a gradual fade of different pinks. You go from the light pink to the darker pink to the kind of darkish berry color. I thought that was really pretty. So I'm going back in with the berry color, the Berries palette. That middle color right there, it's like a mauve pink, and I'm using that to blend the harsh line that's at the top of the where I put the eyeshadows, just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. You don't want any harsh lines. I don't want any harsh lines showing. So to blend out the harsh lines, I'm taking that mauve color and I'm going to do that on both eyelids, of course. Make sure everything is nice and soft looking. And yes, it came out really pretty. Okay, so here I prime my face, and now I'm going to set my primer with Maybelline Fit Me in the color, I believe, Dark Fonts. Now, this is an old trick. I believe I got this from Jackie Aina. And even though I use a poreless primer, when you do this, you cover up your pores even more, and it makes your foundation look very, very smooth. I try not to get directly up under my eye because up under my eye kind of tends to be a little dry. So now I'm going to take my foundation, Born This Way, in the color Tiramisu. And I'm going to put that foundation all around the perimeter of my face. I don't put the foundation in the middle of my face because I'm going to conceal right there. So I just put it along the outside edges of my face and around my lip area to cover, you know, any dark spots or anything like that. I actually don't conceal right there or highlight. I know a lot of people do, but I like that to be the color of my skin. Now I'm going to take a foundation brush, a nice dense brush, spray it with some all-nighter setting spray, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend that foundation all the way in, all around my mouth area and the perimeter of my face. As I stated, I don't put any foundation where I would highlight or conceal because I don't want too much makeup on top of each other. So I just put the foundation on the perimeter. I go ahead and carve the top of my eyebrows out with my foundation because, like I said, I do not like the highlighted eyebrow look. It is just not cute. It's not for me. So now we're going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the same color Chestnut that I used to carve out my eyebrows. So I'm using that because it is like a shade lighter than my skin complexion. So I'm going to use that to conceal. So I'm going to go in with my cheek, not too much, and then on my forehead and on my chin. I'm going to dry it down a little bit before I blend it in. Then I'm going to take that same blender and I'm going to blend it in really good. Now, I start from the outside corner and then I blend toward the inside. That's how I normally blend it in. I wait till it dries down so it's not so wet to where it's going everywhere, so it kind of stays in place. Now, this is very important. You got to move your nose to make sure that you're concealing in that crease right there in your nose, because if you don't move your nose out the way, then it definitely will crease. I don't know what's to that. So now I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. And I'm going to use Fawn to highlight. Now I'm going to put Fawn right there on the inner corner and right down the middle of my nose. I'm not going to use too much because Fawn is really, really bright. So I'm going to dry it down. And once I take my blender and blend it out, I try to keep it right in place. I don't take the color all the way outwards toward the corner of my eye. I keep it right there. I do not take it outwards. That's very important because I don't want the highlighter to be all across my face, making the center of my face really bright. I just want it kind of toward the middle. So it's almost like an ombre effect. Someone's calling me.
What you doing?
Filming.
You say you filming?
Mm-hmm.
What you making, a porno?
I'm not making no damn porno. So now I'm gonna take my blender on the opposite side and take my setting powder and go up under my eye on both sides. Now I like to dust it off a little bit because the setting powder that I use is by Aspun, and if you put too much of it, you will get a white cast. So I don't put too much setting powder. Once again, I'm going to move my nose and put the setting powder right there, because if you don't, that little part right there will crease on the chin and on the forehead. Now I'm going to take my black opal and I'm going to use this to contour. Now, it's rare that I find a contour that's darker than my skin complexion, but this black opal works perfectly. So I'm going to use that to contour. I forgot to blend my nose out, so I'm going to go ahead and blend my nose out. The fawn that's going down the middle of my nose. Going to take that black opal and carve out my nose so I can contour my nose. Now my nose is already pretty slender, but I still like to contour my nose just because it looks nice.
Tell me something, nigga.
What's up? What you want to know?
Like, why you single? Because you fine as fuck to be single, sweetie. I'm not even gonna count with you.
That's a friend of mine, and guys, he is so funny. Like, he was asking me random questions, and we actually had a pretty decent conversation, and I'm going to insert a little bit of our conversation into the video as I go along. So now I'm just taking a dense brush to blend out that contour. At first I was using a pretty soft brush, and I had to switch to this brush because this brush is way denser. I could not for the life of me find my contour brush that I normally use. So I'm just going back and forth with the dense brush and then the softer brush, making sure there's no harsh lines. So now I'm going to take my bronzer, and I absolutely love this bronzer. This Morphe Bronzer, I think in liter, is everything. So you felt like she needed to grow up?
She did, in a way. She was a little childish in some areas. I mean, I kind of was too in certain kids. Some part I was probably too joking around, too sarcastic maybe, and that probably.
So I'm just bronzing the rest of my face. I'm getting my forehead. I just absolutely love this Morphe bronzer in the color Leader. Now I'm going to set my contour. So I'm taking that same Maybelline Dark Foncé, what I use to set my primer. I'm going to go ahead and carve my concealer out on both sides. And I'm using that to do so. Now, I don't take a powder all over my face because after I do this, most of my face has powder on it. So now I'm taking my e.l.f. eyeliner and I'm going to eyeline both of my eyes, and I'm very focused and concentrated when it gets to this part. And I'm just going to show you guys the other side so you can see it better and see how I use my eyeliner. And this e.l.f. eyeliner is so good. And once it dries down, it dries completely matte. So this is by far my favorite eyeliner that I've used yet. Now I'm just going to take my foundation brush and wipe away the excess powder that I have from contouring. I'm going to take that same foundation brush and spray it with some setting spray. And I'm going to take that all over my face. I'm going to use the excess foundation that I have on the back of my hand. I'm not going to add any foundation to the brush, just the excess that's on the brush and on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use that to blend in my entire face, making sure everything is nice and blended, that there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going to take my Morphe setting spray and I'm going to spray it all over my face, get my face nice and wet. And this is basically the end of the look. I'm going to fan myself. Then I'm going to pop on my lashes. I forgot where I get these lashes from. But once I pop on my lashes, then I'm going to take some blush that's in the Juvia's Place Pink palette. It's an eyeshadow, but I'm going to use it as a blush. A lot of men can't take an alpha female. That's probably another reason why I'm still single.
We can't take.
And it came out so pretty, and I normally always do that. I never have actual blush. I just use eyeshadow. So this is the finished look, you guys. I love how everything came together. Okay, so we're going to go over what my favorite product was and what my least favorite products was. This foundation is literally about to be my holy grail. Like, it just blends so well. It's my exact skin tone. It's oil free, but it's not super matte to the point where it dries your skin out. It's still radiant. It's just, I don't think I've ever found a foundation that was my exact skin tone. This Pore Blur Revolution Primer, absolutely love. Remember, I couldn't find the clip of me putting my primer on. This is the primer that I use. And as I explain further, it's sort of kind of like Smashbox Photo Finish. But this one is a lot cheaper than the Smashbox one. And this is the primer that I used. So before, my favorite primer was Photo Finish by Smashbox, I think it was. And that primer still lit. Like, it still get the job done. Don't get me wrong. But this Revolution Pore Blur primer is a little bit cheaper. It's a lot of bit cheaper. Because that photo finish is like $30 for that small thing. This Revolution Matte Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. Very, very good. One of the best setting sprays that I have ever used. It's a little bit transfer proof, and that's very hard to find in a setting spray. I was using this all summer. Like, this damn near gone. Okay, so Juvia's Place, don't get mad at me. I love y'all. I still mess with y'all. But in these little mini eyeshadow palettes that y'all came out with is dope. They cute as hell. But they was acting real patchy. Like, I can't ignore that. Like, I have to say something about that. Like, they were acting really patchy. Like, the matte, I was so surprised. Like, the matte colors, they did not want to go on top of each other. I don't know what that was. That normally doesn't happen with Juvia's Place. This Morphe Bronze, Glam Bronze, Holy Grail. This going on the list with the Too Faced foundation. Like, this would be the this is going to be the only bronzer I ever use in my life. Like, I literally want to scoop this out the pan and mix it with some milk and like make a milkshake and like eat it or something, because that's how fat it is. Like, do y'all see my face? Like, the glow, the matte finish, like, it's just dope. This bronzer is absolutely amazing. I've never used a bronzer that was this good. This bronzer is dope. I purchased a bunch of Fenty Lip Glosses, and I don't have all of them with me right now. The two that I do have, I think I have 3, but I'm not about to go get it out of my purse. So I purchased the new cream glosses that she came out with. I used one of them one time, but I like my gloss to be a little sheer. The cream glosses is a little thick. It's a little too thick for me. They still cute. They gonna serve a purpose. I'm gonna wear them one day with something like in replace of a lipstick or something like that. But I like her sheer glosses way more than the cream glosses. As y'all can see, this one is beat up because I ain't used it so much. This is called Sweet Mouth. Sweet Mouth. And look at that pink. You see the pink that it is? That pink is so pretty. It literally goes with any and every face that I do. I don't care if I'm doing something dramatic or something simple. When I put this lip gloss on, it ties into everything. So yes, I love Fenty. I love this look. I love how it came out. Please be expecting more makeup videos from me. Just everything videos. Makeup, hair, clothes, all type of stuff. I'm not gonna limit myself into doing just one thing on my channel. I'm gonna do whatever I want to, really actually. And I plan on filming like mukbangs and stuff like that, because I love seafood. Y'all have no idea, I love seafood. Yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and all the products will be listed below. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and get in that comment section and tell me. I kind of dived into a little bit of a conversation today. You know, I got a call from a friend and we talked about a couple things. So what I want y'all to tell me in the comments is, I want y'all to tell me what's the best relationship you ever had, and why was that relationship so good? That's what I want. I want us to relive some happy moments. That's what I want us to do. I don't want us to think about nothing sad, think about nothing negative. I want us to relive some happy moments. Tell me the best relationship you ever had. All right, thank y'all so much, and see you in the next video.